Welcome to this edition of our Channel 6 Summer Edition. I'm your host, Hannah Lowry, here with Deshaud Kelly and Hunter Sanders to talk about men's basketball. Guys, with a 5-win improvement with Coach Russ Pennell for his second season, do we think a 15-win season is possible next year?
Well, Hannah, I think it's definitely possible. That'd be pretty much doubling the win total from last year, which might seem like a tall task. But you have lots of guys returning. You have Jordan Howard, who's a star player. So I think getting just above a 500 season would be possible.
I believe it's possible. They have to assert themselves on the defensive end and continue to play their style of basketball.
What do you think the Bears need to prove on this offseason?
Once again, they need to prove on their defense, their ability to guard opposing guards, and also they need to limit their turnovers. They turn the ball over extremely too much, and that hurts them in the long run.
Yeah, I agree. They do need to work on their defense and their turnover margin. They were last in the Southland Conference in turnover margin with almost a -3 turnover margin. And also, while they were a very good offensive team, they just couldn't seem to hit their free throws when they needed to. They're 11th in the conference in free throw percentage, so I need to work on that as well.
I agree. So Justin Foreman was here for one season last year, but he is gone now. How big will his absence be?
Well, it's going to be a big absence. He was a leader on the team. He was a captain. He was third in points per game, fourth in rebounds, third in assists, third in three-point percentage. He was very good at a lot of different things, and his versatility is going to be missed with this team for sure.
It's very difficult to replace a captain, an emotional leader. It's just going to be hard because he holds his team accountable.
I agree. He was a great all-around player, so he will be missed. Now, also, we lost Jake Zulhoff this season. He was here. So do we think the replacements are going to come from within the team or outside the program?
I believe it would come from within the program. Players are a year better, so they've seen and they've watched on how other teams play, so they would come in and contribute right away. I think it's kind of much to ask from a freshman.
I agree. I think there are lots of guys in the program that can step up that are younger big men like Tanner Schmidt or Albert Christensen. Maybe not this season completely fill the void that Zulhoff left, but definitely over time I think they could develop into someone like that.
Coach Pennell ran 4 guards a lot this season. Do you think that can work in the Southland Conference?
I think it might have to work again. Losing a big man like Zulhoff is going to hurt, and they have 4 good guards capable of running a 4-guard system. They're all good at different things, but it also has its disadvantages as well because if you have 4 guards, then you're going to have a disadvantage in the post, but you're also going to have an advantage on the perimeter as well.
As Hunter said, it will create mismatches on the offensive end, but it also has its cons. You wouldn't want one of your guards to end up on a physical big man, and that's going to be hard to do.
So Coach Pennell redshirted 4 players in the 2014-2015 season. What do you expect to see this upcoming season from those players?
This upcoming season, I expect them to be a year better, a year older as well. I think Ethan Lee can come in and contribute tremendously, work on his post game this offseason, and hopefully his intermediate game, he can bring another dimension to that Bears offense.
Yeah, I agree. I like Ethan Lee.
I agree. I like Ethan Lee as well, and also I like Thatch Unruh. He was a good 3-point shooter. He can come off the bench, maybe even start if they need him to. He can be a very good scoring threat.
What player are you most excited to see in the 2016-2017 season?
Well, I know everyone's probably going to say Jordan Howard, and I mean, that's justified. He's a very good player. But I do want to see some more Derek Brooks. He averaged, I think, 12 points per game last season. He was good all around, very good on the defensive end of the ball as well. And I like what he does, and I want to see more of him.
I'm interested in seeing Thatch Unruh, the 6'5" redshirt sophomore. He brings another 3-point shooter, and he has to work on his defense, but I believe that he can help and take the workload off Jordan Howard.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to give the cliche Jordan Howard answer. What is one major aspect that keeps UCA from being a winning team?
Once again, their defense, their ability to guard opposing guards. Opposing guards usually dominate the game, and especially in the Southland Conference when they play, they just have to work on that and keeping them in front of them. If they go zone, simply fill in the gaps and get your hand up. They struggle with that throughout the last 2 years.
I agree. Their defense has been holding them back, and also they are still in the middle of a rebuilding process. They're in year 3. They're definitely better than they were a couple years ago, but you're always going to struggle with certain things whenever you're rebuilding a team like Coach Pennell is to the Bears.
Now, this is an early prediction, but where do you see UCA in the standings next season?
Well, I could see them anywhere from 5th or maybe all the way down to 10th or 11th. I think they will improve at least a few spots. They're going to have, I see them getting double-digit wins for sure. I could see them somewhere in the middle of the pack there, though.
This is one of the years that they're starting to get things together. They've shown that they can play with just about anyone, but I firmly believe they'll be somewhere in between the middle of the pack in the Southland Conference.
As of this production, UCA will be eligible to compete in the 2016-2017 Southland Conference Tournament. Can they make it next season?
I believe they can. Like I just said, I think that they'll have to assert themselves on the defensive end once again, and they can play with just about anyone. They just have to go out there and find a way to play defense game through game.
Yeah, I agree. If they can play defense, they can play with anyone. They got the offense to keep up for sure. They just need to keep up on their defense, and they can win a lot of games.
So we talked about Jordan Howard. He will be entering his junior year. What do you expect to see from him in his next 2 years?
Well, I expect him to get even better, as crazy as that sounds. He's put up 20 points per game last year. I think he can get 22, 23 this year. I'm really excited to see him develop these last 2 years. But by the time he's a senior, I think he can be a very, very good player. But as far
Especially
as
from behind that three-point line.
Yeah, especially behind the three-point line. I already holds the record for three-pointers in the season. He could get the all-time record. Who knows? So.
I see it.
I believe that he will be a Southland first-teamer for the future the next 2 years, and with his skills and especially at the offensive end, I believe that he has the potential to lead the NCAA in scoring.
So Coach Pennell pretty much built this team from scratch. What is the next stage of growth you see for this next season?
I'm expecting this team to take the next step. I'm expecting this team to handle adversity better than they have in the past.
Yeah, I'm expecting them to get a little better. They have lots of guys returning. I think they're going to develop more of a repertoire, get more chemistry together, and just grow as a team.
So the Bears are still a work in progress. How do we expect them to do in the Southland Conference next season?
I expect them to, by the 2017-2018 season, I expect them to be in the Southland title game. That's when you would expect them. Jordan Howard will be a senior. Hopefully his last year he gets to go out on top of the Southland Conference.
I agree with that. By the time he's a senior, I think they'll have lots of good guys around him. Not to say that these guys aren't good, but the ones that stay here, if they could stay another year with Howard by the time he's a senior, they could be a very good basketball team.
So what are your bold predictions for the 2016-2017 UCA Bears basketball season?
For me, I'm going to say that Jordan Howard wins Southland Conference Player of the Year. There's a couple other guys that could have won it, but they went on and graduated. Some are going to the NBA, and I think Howard could be the best player in this conference.
I agree.
It's not really a bold prediction, but a lot of people feel this way on the campus of UCA. They expect them to be a 14 to 17 win team. So hopefully they can get that done and they can go out and be in the middle of the pack of the Southland Conference.
Hopefully. That's all we have for this edition of our Channel 6 Summer Basketball Show. Thanks for watching.